The Chadwick Boseman Story. When Pain Becomes Purpose. Welcome, my incredible friends. Today I will tell you a story that is not just powerful, it's life-changing. This is not just the story of a Hollywood superhero. This is the story of a boy who lost his best friend. A young man who almost gave up on his dreams. A soul who became a king while secretly dying, and left the world before he could see how much he changed it. His name was Chadwick Boseman. You know him as the Black Panther from Marvel, but very few people know the full truth behind the mask, the crown, and the mystery. This story will break your heart and teach you how to rise again, because inside Chadwick's story there is something for all of us. You'll learn what it means to follow your dream even when you have no money. You'll see the truth about purpose, pain, and hidden battles. And most importantly, you'll improve your English while listening to something unforgettable. As you listen to his real story, you'll also improve your English through emotion, real-life vocabulary, and simple storytelling. This is not just a story. This is an experience. So sit back, open your heart, and let's begin. Part 1. The Beginning of a Beautiful Purpose. Chadwick Aaron Boseman was born on November 29, 1976, in Anderson, South Carolina. He came from a working family. Leroy worked in a textile factory. His mother, Carolyn, was a nurse. Chadwick had 2 older brothers, but it was a tragedy that would shape his entire life. As a child, Chadwick was different. He wasn't the loudest kid in class. He wasn't the star athlete. He was quiet, thoughtful, deep. From the beginning, people said he was too emotional. He felt everything intensely: happiness, sadness, pain, justice. And in a world that often tells boys to be tough, Chadwick didn't know how to hide his feelings. He didn't want to. At just 17 years old, Chadwick's world shattered. His best friend and basketball teammate was killed in a shooting. For a sensitive young man, it was like the earth cracked open. Chadwick once said, "I didn't know how to deal with that pain, but I knew I had to do something with it." So, what did he do? He picked up a pen. That night, alone in his room, devastated and confused, Chadwick wrote his first play. It was called Crossroads. It was about loss, pain, and finding meaning when life doesn't make sense. That moment, writing through tears in his bedroom, was the beginning of something big. Chadwick discovered something inside himself. He was born to tell stories that mattered. Have you ever turned your deepest pain into something beautiful? Have you ever found your purpose in your darkest moment? Keep listening, because Chadwick's story will show you how. By his teenage years, Chadwick was fully into drama, art, and performance. He acted in school plays, he won awards. His teachers said he was gifted, but different. Chadwick didn't care about being popular. He didn't chase parties. He chased truth. He chased meaning. But while his heart was in acting, South Carolina had no real film industry. He knew, if I want to act, I have to leave everything I know. So, at just 18 years old, Chadwick made a decision that would change his life forever. He applied to Howard University in Washington, D.C., the famous historically black university. But there was one problem: money. His family had nothing extra. They worked hard just to survive. How could they pay for college? But something magical happened. At Howard University, Chadwick met Felicia Rashad, yes, the famous actress from The Cosby Show. She saw something special in this quiet boy from South Carolina. She believed in him so deeply that she did something incredible. She called Denzel Washington. Yes, that Denzel Washington. Together, they funded Chadwick's education at the British American Drama Academy in Oxford, England. But here's what they didn't know. Chadwick almost said no. He felt unworthy. He thought, why would they invest in someone like me? Have you ever felt like you didn't deserve an opportunity? Have you ever been your own biggest enemy? Chadwick learned something powerful. Sometimes other people see your greatness before you do. Sometimes you have to accept help to become who you're meant to be. Part 2. The Struggle. Nobody saw. After graduating from Howard University in 2000, Chadwick moved to New York City. He arrived with big dreams but empty pockets. For years, he struggled. He worked as a janitor. He waited tables. He taught drama to kids. At night, he wrote plays that nobody wanted to produce. He auditioned for roles and got rejected again and again. Some nights, calling his mother from a payphone, he would whisper, "Maybe I should come home. Maybe this was a mistake." Her response, "Baby, diamonds are made under pressure. Keep pressing." And he did. In 2003, Chadwick wrote and directed a play called Deep Azure. It was performed at small theaters. Critics loved it. People were starting to notice. This young man from South Carolina had something special. But television and film, that was still a dream. For years, Chadwick took small roles just to survive. He appeared in soap operas, crime shows, anything that paid the bills. He never gave up, but inside he was wondering, when will my moment come? Think about your own life, right now. Are you in the struggling phase? Are you working hard but not seeing results? Keep going. Chadwick's story will show you why. In 2008, everything started to change. Chadwick was cast as Jackie Robinson in the movie 42, the story of the first black player in Major League Baseball. But there was one problem. Chadwick had never played baseball, seriously. The producers wanted someone with athletic experience. So what did he do? He trained for months, every day. He studied every video of Jackie Robinson. He learned to bat, left-handed. He practiced until his hands bled. The night before his audition, he was still practicing in the dark. Why? Because Chadwick understood something powerful. Dreams require sacrifice. Greatness demands everything you have. The audition was perfect. Chadwick got the role. When 42 was released in 2013, it was a huge success. Critics praised Chadwick's performance. They said he didn't just play Jackie Robinson, he became him. Suddenly, Hollywood was calling. Agents wanted to sign him. Directors wanted to work with him. Chadwick Aaron Boseman from Anderson, South Carolina, was becoming a star. But fame was never his goal. And now, something even bigger was coming. Part 3. The Crown, the Secret, and the Legacy That Never Dies. In 2016, Marvel Studios offered Chadwick the role of a lifetime, T'Challa, the Black Panther, the first black superhero, to have his own movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was a dream role. It was history in the making. But in that same month, March 2016, Chadwick received devastating news that would change everything. During a routine checkup, doctors found something terrible. Stage 3, colon cancer. Imagine this. You finally achieve your biggest dream, but you might not live to see its impact. How do you move forward? How do you find strength? For 4 years, Chadwick kept this secret. While the world celebrated him as a superhero, he was fighting the battle of his life. He filmed Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and Da 5 Bloods between chemotherapy sessions. Some days he was so weak he could barely stand, but he never missed a day of filming. His stunt coordinators later revealed, some days we'd see him exhausted in his trailer, then he'd walk out and become a king. Think about that. While millions of people around the world were watching him, as the powerful Black Panther, Chadwick was quietly dying. Every interview, every red carpet appearance, every Wakanda Forever salute, he was doing it while his body was fighting cancer. Why didn't he tell anyone? Because Chadwick understood something beautiful. His purpose was bigger than his pain. His mission was more important than his suffering. When Black Panther was released in 2018, it changed the world. It wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural revolution. Children of all colors dressed as T'Challa for Halloween. The film earned over $1.3 billion worldwide. It received 6 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. But behind Chadwick's smile, he was fighting the battle nobody knew about. Every Wakanda Forever he gave to fans was a gift from a dying man to a living world. His words during this time still give me chills. Purpose is the essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. These weren't just pretty quotes, they were his daily reality. While facing death, he was giving life to millions of people who needed to see a black king on screen. What battles are you fighting that nobody knows about? What strength are you showing while secretly struggling? Chadwick's story teaches us that heroism isn't about being invincible, it's about being vulnerable and choosing to serve anyway. In his final films you could see it in his eyes. They looked different, deeper, more urgent. Because he knew something we didn't. Time was running out. On August 28, 2020, the world stopped. Chadwick Boseman passed away at his home, surrounded by his wife and family. He was only 43 years old. The announcement broke the internet. Fans worldwide realized they had lost, not just an actor, but a symbol of strength, dignity, and purpose. But here's the beautiful twist. His greatest performance wasn't in any movie. It was the 4 years he spent inspiring millions while secretly dying. That's real heroism. When the world learned about his secret battle, everything made sense. The way he hugged children at premieres, the way he spoke about legacy and purpose, the way he gave everything to every role. He was living like he knew his time was limited, because he did. The tributes poured in from around the world. Marvel Studios, Disney, presidents, kids in hospitals. Everyone had been touched by this quiet king from South Carolina. His final tweet, posted after his death, became the most liked tweet in Twitter history. A true fighter, Chadwick persevered through it all and brought you many of the films you have come to love so much. The lessons that will change your life. My dear friends, as we come to the end of this incredible story, let me share the most powerful lessons from Chadwick's beautiful but short life. Lessons that can change how you live, how you think, and how you speak to yourself. Lesson 1. Your pain can become your purpose. Chadwick lost his best friend at 17. Instead of letting it destroy him, he turned it into art. The pain of loss became the power to heal others. What pain in your life can you transform into purpose? Lesson 2. Dreams require sacrifice, but never sacrifice your values. Chadwick could have taken easy roles for easy money. Instead, he chose difficult roles that challenged him and inspired others. Don't do what looks good. Do what feels right. Lesson 3. Serve others, even when you're suffering. While battling cancer, Chadwick continued to inspire children, visit hospitals, and give hope to millions. Your purpose is bigger than your pain. How can you serve others, even in your darkest moments? Lesson 4. Leave something behind that matters. Chadwick didn't live for fame or money. He lived to inspire, to break barriers, and to show the world that a black man could be a king. What legacy are you building? What will people remember about you? Lesson 5. Sometimes being strong means being vulnerable. Chadwick could have told the world about his cancer. He could have asked for pity. Instead, he chose to be privately vulnerable and publicly strong. Real strength isn't about never falling down. It's about how you rise up. You've just listened to the full story of Chadwick Boseman. You laughed, you cried, you felt inspired. You learned about life and maybe about yourself. But most importantly, you improved your English through real emotion and powerful storytelling. But now, I ask you, what are you doing with your life? Are you hiding your talent? Are you afraid to follow your dreams? Are you too worried about what others will say? Let Chadwick's story speak to you now, not as a fan, but as a human being. You have one life. Don't waste it trying to be perfect. Don't wait for permission. Don't leave your dreams unfinished. Chadwick didn't live long, but he lived fully. He didn't chase fame, but he found greatness. He didn't fake emotions. He embraced them. And you can too. And as you followed this journey, you were also improving your English. You learned real vocabulary. You understood real emotions. You listened to natural storytelling. That's how English becomes your language, not through boring textbooks, but through powerful stories, like this one. So keep going, watch again, learn again, and remember, the more you feel, the more you understand. Chadwick Boseman is gone, but his voice, his spirit, his performances, they're still here, and they will be forever. So to Chadwick, we say, thank you for giving us your soul. Thank you for showing us what a king looks like. Thank you for reminding us that purpose is more powerful than pain. Wakanda, forever king. You were too good for this world, and you'll never be forgotten. Dear viewer, if this story touched your heart, if you learned something new, if you feel changed, even just a little, then please share it. Leave a comment, subscribe for more powerful stories, and keep improving your English because you're becoming stronger every day. We'll meet again in the next story. Until then, live with purpose and speak with truth. Wakanda forever. Goodbye.